So this is Archmage, Mythical Entertainment, with Justin here at Necrobarista, PAX 2017. So Justin, I just played your demo, and I gotta say it's really, really fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I even turned up the volume just so I could drown out the crowd noise so I could focus on it better. So please, if you could, give me a little bit about your game.
Yeah, sure. So I guess the thing that you saw in the demo is we have several modes, one being sort of a narrative linear mode where you're seeing the interactions that happen between these characters with a lot of detail and focus paid attention to how we're guiding you through that scene. And then the other part, which we tried to include a little bit of, is sort of similar to a point and click interface, but in terms of gating your progress, we wanted to make it such that that part is something you can engage with as much as you want to, but not something that you feel like you're forced to engage with. If you want, I can talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. One thing kind of that I noticed is it definitely encourages you to go around and explore the world. When I'm going around, it highlights the actual objects you can interact with, and then when you select them, it brings up more details about this specific item, whether it's a character or an object or just a little bit about the world. And it feels like the game is all about exploration, correct?
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. And we know that some people are, visual novel aficionados, and they're going to want more of a linear experience, which is why we don't gate progress with the interactive segments that you saw. So, sort of explaining a little bit about how we arrived at that, I have always had sort of a love-hate relationship with the point-and-click adventure games that I grew up with. My favorite part of those is always when you load it up for the first time and you see an environment with 50 clickable objects, and it's just like, oh boy, I get to click on everything, I'm going to explore everything. And the part where it really fell apart for me as a kid is, okay, I need to find the specific item that will let me progress, and now I feel like I'm forced to click on everything to figure out where that item is. And so we wanted to have it very clear, if you want to continue along with the story, this is how you do it. But if you want to be the person who looks in every little nook and cranny and investigates every part of the setting, investigates all of the characters there, then you can do that too.
Now, Necrobarista, it's out now, or when's the release for it?
The final game is going to be coming out in 2018.
2018. It's been in development for how long?
We've been working on this since 2015.
2015, so that's a pretty long cycle for this game.
Yep.
Now, what's something during development that an idea you came up with that most surprised you about the game?
Yeah, well, one of the things that you, I think, remarked on is the idea of having camera work that sort of guides the player through each of what we call the visual novel scenes, where there's a bit of motion that carries you through it so that it has sort of a kinetic feel to it. The thing that we discovered is it's actually possible to go overboard with that. In some of the earlier versions we actually were a lot heavier on having animations and other things that were going on visually, and the thing that we discovered is that if you do too much of that, it actually distracts people from the text. So what we have spent a lot of time doing is working on producing the animation and visuals in a way that guides your attention to the story rather than pulling focus away from it.
Excellent, excellent. So another striking aspect of the game, not only the visuals, but also the music is fantastic. I actually found myself tapping my foot along with the beat during the entire experience. So who is it that developed your music score?
Yeah, we're working with Kevin Penkin, who is giving us the score that's, as you heard, I've been enjoying it a lot too. I get excited every time I see he's posted a new track for us to incorporate.
Is the soundtrack going to be available for download separately from the game or part of the bundle? Or
I'm not able to confirm that right now.
Okay, well, I for one would personally love to listen to that off the game itself.
All right, duly noted.
Well, very, very awesome. When is your release date? Early 2018?
Yeah, we'd like to be releasing it in the early 2018.
And what platforms is it going to be?
We are going to be on Steam, so that's PC as well as Mac, and then also Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, yeah.
It was excellent. Necrobarista, PAX 2017.